I'm working on removing the divider. In theory, it's just a whole bunch of bolts. However, two of them, well, about half the bolts were these grade 8s that are not threaded all the way to the cap, particularly all the ones along the top. So what happened is, whoever did the install, because they use the wrong kind of bolt, what happens is you have your blind nut on the backside and you tighten down, and then you keep tightening past the threads and it chews out the threads on the nut, and so then the bolt just free spins, but it won't pull out. It's in there solid, but there's no way to back the bolt out. So there were two like that. The others I was able to gently back out. So for the two that were not, I had to use the angle grinder and a little Dremel tool, because of the angle of the partition, I couldn't actually get the angle grinder in there at friendly angles. But here's one of them, if you can see, but I had to grind the bolt head off, and the second one was over here on the outside. So should have been a 15-minute process to pull this divider, and I think I'm about 2 hours in.
What is it?
I think it's like a chemical treatment. I haven't read any of that yet. I was gonna leave it in there so it doesn't get lost.
I want to flush it real quickly just to see.
Okay, fill it up first.
Not all the way. Oh, yeah, it's...
And then it should have a gate valve in the front to flush. "110 degrees baking here in Texas. I got the engine running, AC on full, and then I got the rear doors opened and the fan set to exhaust. I think it brought it down by about 10 degrees, so it's probably 95, but more importantly, I got a little cold air on my back, so it's making it bearable. First item today, I removed the bulkhead so that I can walk from the cab to the aft end. I think what I'm going to do is buy a new bulkhead that has a center door, and I'd like to do a swing door. They make one that swings to the right, so towards the cabinets. They also, Ranger has one with a pocket door. It's quite a bit more expensive, and the Ranger sticks out more to accommodate the pocket door. So I'd like to do the swing door, but for this first job, I don't have time to get all of that stuff in and installed. So I used some leftover lumber. I got a 2x4 and a 2x2 left over from the cabinet build. I am going to swap this 2x2 out with another 2x4. It's just too flexy. But for now, it's securing my tool chest. I think in a panic braking situation, I'll be fine. Obviously, if I hit something, I'm screwed. That's going to end up in the cab. But I also got the passenger seat to help attenuate a bit. I'm experimenting with the chest turned sideways. It gives me a bigger opening to get through the side door, but I think it also sticks out too much in the center aisle. So I may re-rotate this back to the previous orientation. But for this first road trip, it'll do. Alright, so house battery bank. I wanted to install one of those lithium power banks that's like a self-contained case that's lithium batteries, a charger, a solar charger, AC charger, and a 120 volt inverter for AC, all in one, because they're like double the capacity, and it effectively makes it 4 times the capacity, because lithium you can draw all the way to the bottom, where a conventional lead acid you can only go down to about 50%, or a deep cycle like these you can go a bit lower, but everything's back ordered. So I bought these from a local store. They're in stock. These are just Group 24 golf cart batteries. I've got experience with these from boating, and they've worked out great for me in the past as house power. So, and they were available, really my only option. So I think it was about $350 for the 2 batteries. Had to pay the core charges since I didn't have old batteries to swap, which I think was like 30 or 50 bucks a battery. It was pretty brutal. And then I ordered these Group 24 battery boxes on Amazon. I think they were under $10 a piece. And then I've got this battery isolator combiner ACR switch. What this will do is this will be wired between the engine start battery and the house batteries. And what happens is whenever the voltage rises above 13.3, it closes this switch to combine the house and engine battery, which effectively means the alternator from the engine will charge all three batteries. These are 6 volts, so I've got to wire them in series so that I get 12 volts. But I've got battery cable there. I'm going with 6 AWG to go between the engine and the house. I need to install a fuse on the engine start battery, so if I have a short somewhere, it won't create a fire. It's another thing that isn't going to come in time, so temporarily I'm going to have to direct wire everything unfused. A little risky, but also super common that batteries are not fused between batteries. So anyhow, and then I've got a hydraulic crimper to crimp lug ends on my batteries. I'm going to wire everything up right now, and through the magic of editing, you will see my completed cables. Oh, it's angled the wrong way. Yeah, that'll work. First night in the van. We're at a truck stop in New Mexico. It's 85 degrees and raining, which is actually a good thing because that should drop the temp. I'm hoping we get down to like 75 from the rain. We're about an hour before sunset, but obviously it's overcast. Got the fan running on low, and it's pretty darn windy out there. A little cover's flapping around. Feels a bit like being on a boat. Gusts of wind are rocking the van a little bit.